Hey, good afternoon, everybody. We're just going to take a quick couple of seconds here to let people get logged on. While people are doing so, please feel free to send in any questions and so forth. I am in Phoenix office again in one-man show, so please be patient. Once again, if you are driving, please turn this off and watch the video at a later time. It'll be both on Facebook and YouTube pretty quickly. So normally we do a 72-hour delay, but this time we're putting it on YouTube immediately. This will probably, things are not calming down, but we're not having as much new news to report, as we were the first few days. So we're probably not going to do a Facebook Live tomorrow, but we will again Monday at the same time, 4 o'clock Joplin time. If for some reason something weird happens between now and tomorrow, we'll go ahead and do another one of these again, type of thing. But it feels like the new news and new bombshells are slowing down a bit. So we don't want to wear out our welcome, type of thing. But we'll probably skip tomorrow and come back on Monday. But we'll let you know if that changes, for sure. Okay. All right. Let me get going here before we go into any questions here. Okay. Pennsylvania rest areas. For those of you not heard, the ATA, influence and driver influence, has been working and has been heard. Pennsylvania is going to be opening up some rest areas, not all of them. About 13 of the 48 will be open soon. I think they're already open, but I haven't been able to confirm that. My understanding is that as of this morning, the Pennsylvania rest areas that they were going to open will be open. Here's, I don't know if you can read this or not, but the locations that they're open include on I-81, which serves the warehouse districts, Central Pennsylvania, Luzerne County, and Cumberland County rest areas. North and southbound north and southbound in Cumberland and Luzerne counties. I-80, which is our main, artery across Pennsylvania. My understanding that all of the rest stops on I-80 are open, and then a few others, as well. So not all the Pennsylvania rest areas are open, but hopefully the main ones, are. The services are still not going to be fully functional. What I've read is they're going to have porta potty facilities, which again I know are not great, facilities, but at least it's something. And then you will have parking ability at these rest areas, which is huge. So stay tuned. Continue to Google, for new news or updates to the weekend. But this is the latest information that we have. I have read something as well that suggests that services in many of the turnpike areas and so forth will be restored this weekend, including restrooms and broader food services. But again, none of that is confirmed, and even if that's the hope, doesn't mean that that's necessarily going to happen. Okay. Customer updates. Colts Neck Earl Naval Station is going to be closed until April 7th. We do have a trailer pool there, so there may be scenarios where we're having to go in to pick up a trailer, but just contact your DM if that's the case. There are some telephone numbers that we can reach out that will give us access to our trailer pool there. But Colts Neck has been closed until April 7th. Ball camp. Ball camp facilities, we just got notice today that that they are going to not be closed, but won't be allowing drivers access to certain areas, there. And so read your notes if you're sending to a ball camp, location. Read your notes carefully. We'll probably be putting you in contact with someone named Brett or Dale, for communication, and we'll send you their telephone numbers directly. Okay, so those are the two big, service or customer areas, that we've got new news on, so far. Let me check out for comments and news here real quickly. Hi Dennis, hi Suzanne. Dennis Ealings, hi from Washington. Doug Gonzalez, are the planners having a hard time finding his freight? No, as far as I'm aware of, freight continues to be, reasonably, the same. If you're in a certain area or whatever, I mean, reach out, to your DM, to see what's going on. I mean, we're not asking, drivers, to stay at home extended periods because of lack of freight or anything. In fact, that there's reason to believe the freight may tick up for us, here a little bit. So Doug, if you have particular problems, reach out to your driver manager, particularly, please. Hi Brian, Don Chambers from Houston. Kai, hi Kai. Okay, we'll keep moving here. Okay, so there is business related to COVID news. Communicate, please. There's a lot of confusion going on, right now, both at shippers and locations, and again, drivers, having, various issues related to the coronavirus. Regardless, please communicate. If we are not going to be able to, deliver on time or pick up on time, we still need to communicate, all of those kind of things, okay? Listen, our customers are nervous. Our customers are concerned about what's going on. Our customers are concerned, about you drivers and whether, you're able to perform, your job. And so, just as we're trying to do extra communication with each of you, we have to do extra communication, for our customers. They rely on you and us for leadership here. So when we're late, then they're concerned about, hey, what's going on? I mean, are you going to come up, come at all? So even more important, now, to avoid the service failures and service issues, communicate. Any issues that you're having that's going to delay you from an appointment, please make sure, that you communicate that to us, okay? We're also, placarding. Again, that's the business, that we're in. I know some of our shippers, don't have the same crews or running skeleton crews. Still make sure that your placards are correct before you leave the shipper, okay? And if you have any questions at all about that, call in to us. I mean, we have a special manifest crews and manifest teams, to help out, with all of that. Contact your driver manager, safety or hazmat instructors, Andy Dooling and Jake Dooling in particular, if you have any questions about what's going on with the placarding. But again, this is a weird time, and it's a weird time for our customers. So they may not have the standard people, at the shipping facilities that they normally would to help us out with those things. So please, as a driver, make sure that you're on top of those things yourself. Angela Lodge, if either driver contacts the virus, are we going to be able to head home to see doctors and quarantine at home, or stuck on the truck out somewhere for an extended period of time, quarantine the truck? Listen, Angela, that's a good question. It's a case-by-case basis. Generally, logic says we're going to send you home if you're safe to drive, and so, if that comes up, contact, us, contact HR, contact your driver manager, and we'll talk through, those various scenarios. We've had conversations, at for example, McAllister, they're doing the temperature check. And if you, are denied access, because, your temperature's too high or something, what happens? And again, each situation is so individual, it's hard to just, give a blanket statement here. If you're in that situation and the environment, get a hold of your driver manager, get a hold of someone in HR, and we'll guide you through it, through that. But good question, Angela, thank you. Okay, moving on here. Some of this is just kind of updates, but all the travel centers, as far as we're aware of, is remaining operational. Again, the showers are still open. Some of the shower facilities we're hearing, instead of 24 hours, are having limited hours, so they can do, more extensive cleaning. So just be aware, that especially in the nights, evening period, the showers may be closed, but on the day-to-day basis, most facilities, should still be available. there's a lot of rumors about this closing and this state's closing restaurants and and so forth. So verify the rumors, before you accept it as fact. Okay, I mean, I get a lot of information, and before we pass it on to you guys, we do the best we can, to make sure that whatever information we're passing on is accurate, and we're not passing on rumors or so forth. But that's the information that we have right now. Food services again are going to be somewhat limited, at a lot of these truck stops. And as Cheryl was talking about yesterday, again, make sure you practice that social distancing, as much as you can. Okay, so again, food restaurants, I mean, carry-out delivery, is generally available, but some restaurants are just closing up altogether. We know that can be a real challenge. In Joplin, those of you that have gone through orientation, we do a lot of meals at Chicago. Pizza right there next to the hotel, where they just notified us today that they're closing completely. So it's those are happening. Again, have some basic food storage and have some basic things on truck with you to carry you over just as an emergency need. So let me see if there's any questions here. Doug again. If possible, have the planners confirm Qualcomm instructions prior to sending us the info. Within the past 2 weeks, we've given instructions to report certain gates. The gate had been closed for several years, causing us to arrive extremely late. Today, we're given contact name. Again, Doug, share those concerns. I don't know if this is the best forum, to those. I mean, those are everyday, concerns as well. Send that in. Send those kind of things. Email it to me. Email it to your driver manager. But we'll pass this on, to the planning, people as well. Mark Phillips, we're currently on a Canada run. When we start doing runs back in the U.S. and when some of the customers ask us, have we been out of the country in the last 20 days? Should we let them know that we have been into Canada? Mike Phillips, good question. The answer is yes. I mean, be truthful in all your responses. Let them know where have you been, and so forth. Most of the facilities are concerned about, obviously, Italy and Spain and China. I mean, where those countries are having extreme pandemics. But yeah, if they ask a question, answer it truthfully, and good information is always helpful to all of us. There Ken Armstrong had sent in a message last night talking about some potential things that may happen in Canada. We're monitoring that. Okay, I mean, he's concerned about some draconian measures that could affect some of our drivers that are up there on the Quebec-Lubay project. We are monitoring all of those kind of things, to make sure that our drivers, won't be stranded or are safe and as possible. So. Okay, I don't see any other, questions. There's really nothing else, for me to talk about. There's the coronavirus avoidance tips, and you'll see those everywhere. If you happen to see a good tip on avoiding coronavirus, then we encourage you to follow it. Hopefully Teresa Porter doesn't see this background. I'm not even sure what's on the background. But we appreciate all of you. Have a great weekend. Again, we'll continue to pass information as quickly and as accurately as we have it. If you have any questions, send it to Cheryl or I or your DM, and we'll investigate it, we'll research it, and then we'll pass out, and disseminate, to everybody else, as appropriate for sure. Thank you, everybody.